Is hope available? How you can make it on purpose no matter what. By the time you've finished this video, you'll know exactly how to operate the equipment of your own mind in a way that you can feel some hope right now and create it again in the future anytime you want. Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins, a professional psychologist, and my specialty is positivity. Part of positivity is hope. I know what it takes to create hope from scratch from your own brain. Let's first talk about why this is so important, because if we put hope on a spectrum or a continuum, clear over here on the positive end of that is where we have hope. Well, what's on the opposite end? Despair or depression or hopelessness. Why is this important? Because despair, depression, hopelessness are dangerous. In fact, we lose a lot of people. I don't know if we lose more people to despair than we do to car accidents, but it's possible. And it creates a really negative energy also in relationships, in the workplace. It affects our entire society. Hope is the remedy. So we have to figure out how that is created. It's interesting that the clinical research backs this up as well. Hope is the #1 preventative factor for suicidal thinking or behavior. That's why this is so important. Let's get into a basic understanding of how to operate the equipment of our own mind. Part of my job as a psychologist is to illuminate the obvious. I love this because I get paid to tell people things that they already know. But there's a lot of obvious things that are completely unnoticed. And as I call these to your attention, you'll see them immediately. They're obvious. We just don't notice them until they're called to our attention. If you're wearing shoes right now, can you feel them? Oh yeah, there they are. If you're not wearing shoes right now, do you notice that you're not wearing shoes? See, I called it to your attention, and now it's obvious, but it wasn't really noticed until I called it to your attention. Tune into that. Our brain is constantly engaged in 2 processes. I'm going to just introduce 2 of them to you today because there's a lot more going on in our brain, but the 2 I want you to see are evaluation and creation. These are tasks or jobs that your brain does for you. And we use our imagination in both. So let's look at evaluation first. In evaluation mode, we are constantly judging or evaluating everything that's going on. And I just want you to notice it. You are constantly judging yourself, aren't you? Your relationships, the government, the economy, your job, your coworkers, the people at the church, the people in your community, the people in your home. Just notice it. You're judging. And it's not that you're a bad judgmental person. It's that you're a human, and this is part of what we do as a regular part of being a human being. We're constantly judging. We can't turn it off. Now, the word evaluation implies comparison with some standard. So to judge something or evaluate it, we have to know compared to what? Is this a good day? Well, can you imagine a day being worse than today? Yes, you can. And compared to that, it's a pretty good day. Well, can you imagine a day being better than this? Yes, you can. And compared to that, this isn't such a great day. So it is what it is. What we compare it to determines how we feel about it. Does that make sense to you? This is called evaluation. Now, when we do a negative evaluation of our life, we end up in that place of depression and despair. When we do a positive evaluation of our life, we feel more gratitude. And that leads us to the next part, creation. This is creation of what is to be. And that doesn't exist yet. We haven't created it yet. When our mind gets into creation mode, we constantly predict or anticipate or expect what's coming. Now check it out. When you predict or anticipate or expect that what's coming is even worse than what you've already got, how do you feel? This is anxiety. I think that's the clinical definition of anxiety, when we expect or anticipate or predict that what's coming is worse than what we've already got. Just notice how that feels. Now, what about the other direction? What happens when we predict or expect or anticipate that what's coming is even better than what we've already got. How do we feel? That is hope. I've put both of these processes, evaluation and creation, into a visual model. I've got a PDF copy of this for you at drpauljenkins.com/the model. All one word. Go get it. The URL's on your screen right now. It's a full color PDF version of this model so that you can remind yourself about that, and a quick little summary of what each of those components are, the way that I've described it to you today. This becomes the operating instructions for the equipment of your own mind. Now let's review what ground we've already covered. You're constantly evaluating your life. How you evaluate it determines how you feel. The two choices there: when you see that your life is good, you feel gratitude. When you see that your life is bad, you feel depression. You get to choose which way you judge that. Now go to creation mode. When we anticipate or expect that what's coming is worse than what we've got, we feel despair or hopelessness, anxiety. When we anticipate that what's coming is even better, we feel hope. This is how it's made. This is how it's created. That feeling of hope does not come from things outside of us, from our circumstances, the world, the pandemic, the government, the economy, the situation in Eastern Europe. It has nothing to do with it. All we need to create hope is a choice to anticipate or imagine better things to come. And it doesn't always come easily. Sometimes you have to practice that and get a little bit of coaching and do some reprogramming of your own mind. That's why we've built the models that we have. One more thought about that prediction. Do you know? I mean, for sure, like you've got some cosmic connection to the grand calendar of all things. Do you know what's coming? No, you don't. You've got something to do with your outcomes, but you don't know what's coming. So all you can do is imagine. When you imagine that it's going to be worse, you feel anxiety. When you imagine that it's going to be better, you feel hope. It's a choice. Why not choose something that serves you well? Since you don't know, choose. Can you do that? I hope that this has created some hope for you. Hopefully, it has. Hey, do you want a little bit more of this? I have put together a full-scale hope class. Here's where you can get to it. drpauljenkins.com/hope. Go get registered right now and then come to the class. I will help you learn how to operate the equipment of your own mind so you can create hope anytime you want.